Good day, YouTube. It's Maurice over at Nulu Tool. Today I wanted to do a little something different and just talk through some of my experiences with DeWalt's warranty program, also some of the repair programs. Just kind of talk through, what I've dealt with, some of the good, some of the bad, some of the ugly, and just kind of give my own personal perspective on it. Hopefully others out there can kind of get a little bit of a feel for, what to expect if and when you ever have to encounter or deal with a warranty situation with DeWalt specifically. I do carry a ton of Milwaukee tools as well, but I've yet to have to deal with their warranty experience. And to be frank, I've actually heard not so great things about the Milwaukee warranty experience. But DeWalt's warranty experiences for me thus far have mostly been pretty positive. The latest one was probably the first time that I would say I had a little bit of some trepidations throughout the process, mainly due to the amount of time that it took for the repair process to take place. If you recall, or if you watched one of the previous videos, I did a 1 year review on my DeWalt mower. In the video, I did show that there was some issues with the handle. Whenever I would take it from the storage position to the operating position, I would have to basically try to start the mower numerous times, basically by collapsing the handle and raising it back up, multiple times before it would actually start. This started back in April, so right at the beginning of mowing season, and for whatever reason, I got a little bit ahead of myself and a little bit anxious about getting the repair done or getting a warranty claim put in. So I did send it back in the middle of mowing season, which ultimately turned out to not be such a good idea. Mostly because as long as I kept it in the operating position with the handle up, once it did start, I didn't have a problem with it. So in hindsight, I probably should have just kept the mower until October or so, and then sent it in for warranty to get it repaired after the mowing season is over. So that's certainly kind of a misjudgment on my own part, but nonetheless, the amount of time that DeWalt held on to the mower for the repair was definitely agonizing, I would say, is probably the best way that I could put it. And that's due to the fact that I actually had to rent mowers on 2 different occasions from Home Depot. And then finally, I just ended up borrowing my mother's electric mower, which kind of made things even more frustrating because her mower just isn't really designed or built for the size of yard that I have. So it was just super annoying to have to use a mower like that. So just to talk through kind of what DeWalt did. So I sent the mower off for the repair on July the 1st, 2026. I did not get it back until August the 22nd, 2026. I called them on August the 10th, and I, asked for an update, which was a Monday, and it was kind of a funny experience because they put me on hold for a minute, or they told me they were waiting for parts, put me on hold, came back, and then told me that the parts had just come in on that Friday, miraculously. I know. So from there, they told me that it would take, basically a technician would get into it over the course of that week, and then it should be back to me the next week. And ultimately, it didn't get back to me until the following week, which was just a few days ago. The funny thing to me about this particular experience was they sent me this stack of papers inside the box that kind of gives me a line item rundown of all the parts that they did put into the new, or the parts that they repaired or replaced. And I tallied it all up, and I'm looking at about $300 worth of parts, and I think I paid just under $700 for the mower with 2 batteries and a charger, brand new. And these were, I'm pretty sure they were 12 amp hour batteries, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't make a ton of sense to me why they would go through all the effort to repair the mower as opposed to just sending me a new one for basically the same amount of money. And then when you also factor in the shipping to DeWalt as well as the shipping back to me, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. But nonetheless, I got it back and it's in working form. So all in all, I would have to give that particular experience a C plus. Previously, I've also had to deal with their warranties on a couple of my FlexVolt batteries, 12 amp hour batteries. I think a lot of people have dealt with that same issue. I've actually got one 12 amp hour battery that is totally bricked, and then I've got another 12 amp hour battery that only works on 20 volt tools, so it no longer works on 60 volt tools. In each instance, I was able to just open up a online chat with I don't know if it was with a human or if it was with a bot, but on the first instance, they asked for the numbers, the date code. It was well within warranty. I was able to send it, or they basically told me it would take about, I'm guessing here, but I think they said it might take 2 weeks for it to come back to me. They sent it within the week. So that first one was a great experience. The second time was a little bit more involved on my part, just because, so I bought these batteries on December the 1st, 2022. And the second one of the batteries that stopped working on the FlexVolt side of things, I ended up warrantying it on November the 25th, 2025. Again, they asked for the date code. I gave them the date code, and they told me that it was no longer under warranty because of the difference between the date code and the time that I actually purchased it were probably a couple of months. So I was able to dig through my emails. I found the receipt from where I actually purchased it on December the 1st and got that sent over, and they ended up sending me another battery within a week. However, they sent me a 9 amp hour battery as opposed to 12 amp hour battery. So I, opened it up, saw that it was the wrong battery, sent them a message, and then again, about a week later, they sent me a 12 amp hour battery. They told me to keep the 9 amp hour battery. So as far as the battery experiences have been, I would give those an A plus. They've been wonderful from that standpoint. I've also had a chainsaw warranty experience, which I would give a B plus, or A minus, B plus, somewhere in that range. So basically, I bought my chainsaw in about May 2022, and I cut up a massive cherry tree with it. So I put it through its paces over the course of that summer. And towards the end of the summer, while I was still using it for that specific application, I noticed my chain tension just was shot. Every I would do like one cut and my chain would be loose. So I was able to kind of look into it. I think I did a little bit of research because I had a 20-inch FlexVolt chainsaw, which was brand new to market at that time. So there wasn't any real information about, repairing it. There wasn't really any reviews about it at all. But I was able to find some information based on some of the previous generation or previous models of chainsaws from DeWalt, and saw that, what the issue likely was. So I took it apart, pulled out there was a little gear. All the teeth were sheared off of the chain tensioning gear. So I, again, opened up a chat on DeWalt.com, referenced the part that I needed. They sent the part within a few days. I was able to replace it and haven't had an issue with it since. I also haven't used it quite as much since, but nonetheless, they did send that part and took care of that. So I also managed to burn out my string trimmer early in the spring of this year, 2026. That string trimmer was something that I purchased back in 2022 again. So, it's been 4 years since I had it at that point. So I knew it was well out of warranty. I looked into fixing the little motor in the head, but it was, I think the motor costs almost $100. The string trimmer costs $200. I figured I might as well just buy a new string trimmer at that point and not, try to repair an already damaged piece of equipment. But I will say that, it's probably due to my own overuse of it or just kind of abuse use of it. One of the things that we would do in the fall with that string trimmer is we would collect all the leaves, put them in our plastic trash bins, and then take that string trimmer and like basically force it down in there to mulch up the leaves just so that we could use less trash bags and less trash cans. As I was doing that, I kind of figured that probably wasn't a very ideal way to use the string trimmer. So I definitely take that one on the chin myself. I wouldn't say that it's a defective issue or anything from DeWalt's standpoint. And then one other thing that I wanted to mention as far as DeWalt's warranties and also recalls, I do have the original or the first generation battery powered miter saw, the one where if you use the cord with the saw, the cord adapter with the saw, you probably burn out your engine. I learned through various YouTube videos and online information not to use that, so I've actually never plugged the saw in, but it did have a recall on some of the I guess the housing behind the blade. I'm not sure exactly what the housing or what the components were because I did put in my information for the new components, but I've yet to receive them. And it's been almost 3 years, I want to say, since I submitted that information. And the reason why I'm talking about it now is because when I went through to kind of list out or find all the emails and all the correspondences that I've had with DeWalt about various warranties, recalls, and repairs, I found that email and it just dawned on me that I never received it. So if someone's listening, it'd be great if I could get those components. Otherwise, again, I don't know what they're for. I know I had some pieces break off back when I first got the saw. The saw's been working fabulously since, so I'm not too worried about it. I know that my dust collection isn't great, but I also don't have a dedicated dust extraction setup with that saw. So perhaps that's, part of the reason why the dust extraction doesn't work. Ultimately, not a big deal. I don't miss it. And I honestly totally forgot that I even submitted information for that claim. All right, so that's about all I have as far as, warranties, repairs, and recalls from DeWalt. I buy DeWalt and Milwaukee tools mainly because they work. So dealing with the warranties through those companies, I do have pretty high expectations that they will come through on the warranty. So it's been good to know that at least one of them does honor their warranty pretty effectively. Like I said before, I have heard some not so great things about Milwaukee. I heard that you do have to jump through some additional hoops. I have also heard that a lot of times they will, test the tool to kind of determine whether or not they will honor the warranty. Like I said, I haven't had to experience that myself, so if and when I do, I'm sure I'll be making a video about it, but none of my Milwaukee tools have shit the bed up until now, so that's a great thing. And like I said, the DeWalt tools that have shit the bed basically were my fault. At least on one instance. If you've had any experience with either Milwaukee or DeWalt's warranty, recalls, or repairs, please leave a comment down below and let me know what your experience was like. If you're looking for any other information about it, how to go about it, also comment down below. I'd be happy to kind of correspond with you and let you know, what I found to be the most effective and quickest ways to deal with DeWalt specifically. They've been great. They're pretty much always available. I think the online chatbot is the way to go. If you found any good information in this video, please don't hesitate to like the video, share the video, and consider subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated and much valued. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch today, and we will catch you on the next one.